talk about Rio. How did he come into your life?
Rio coming into my life was luck and magic. I'd actually gone with a friend to pick up a puppy for her from a breeder. I saw this scruffy little dog in the corner and he was covered in mites. So I asked the gentleman, "Iska kya karenge?" So he's like, "Didi, isko to ab, we'll put him down." There were yaks in the distance and mountains at the back. And we were playing ball with her. She didn't care about the yak, she didn't care about other cars. The only thing she cared about was chasing her dad's bike in that meadow.
So, how do you plan or structure meals when you are traveling with her?
I think this is Shinkula Pass. And we were stuck between like a 12 feet wall on both sides, 12 feet wall of snow. And our car was parked right in the middle of it.
Wow.
And we had to stay about 4-5 hours there.
Any advice on how to be ready or prepare for emergencies? Some people live for adventures and some make it a way of life. Whether it's off-roading through breathtaking trails, diving deep into the ocean, or exploring snow-covered wonderlands with their dog by their side. It's all about embracing every moment. And that's exactly what our guest Niharika does so effortlessly. Her bond with her dogs remind me so much of Denny and Enzo from The Art of Racing in the Rain. That kind of unbreakable companionship that makes every adventure unforgettable. This episode is specially for pet parents who dream of giving their furry friends a life full of adventure. From travel essentials to practical tips, Niharika is sharing so much that can help you and your dog make the most of life on the road. Let's dive in. Welcome to Tales of Tales with MD. Hi Niharika.
Hi.
Welcome to Tales of Tales with MD.
Thank you for having me here.
Let's talk about Rio. How did he come into your life?
Rio coming into my life was luck and magic. So I'd actually gone with a friend to pick up a puppy for her from a breeder. And I was just waiting for her to get her dog and I saw this scruffy little dog in the corner and he was covered in mites. So I asked the gentleman who was, looking after these dogs, "Iska kya karenge?" So he's like, "Didi, isko to ab, we'll put him down." So I felt terrible and I said, "Why don't you give this puppy to me? If he survives, then, iska luck." And it was amazing. I took him to the vet and within a month he had beautiful coat. He was a shiny black Labrador. So that's how he just came into my life.
So Rio inspired you to start your travel journeys with him?
Inspired keh lo, yeah, he was my constant companion, so he had to be there. So that's how his traveling with Rio was a no-brainer.
Okay. So there must have been some challenges to travel with him everywhere. So how did you manage those, or was there anything like you invented कि नहीं है available, so I have to make it myself to accommodate?
So Rio was a handful. He was a Labrador puppy growing up.
Yeah.
So and I used to drive to work with him.
Okay.
So to keep him strapped in till he was small was easy because I could put him in a puppy bag and strap the bag to the car seat belt. But when he started growing up, to keep him in one place was very tedious. So what I did was I took his bed.
Okay.
I stuck Velcro to his bed and took a little board and fixed the board to the passenger, the shotgun seat with the other side of the Velcro, and I put the seat inside it.
Okay.
And then I strapped him in his bed. So that is one invention. Yeah, for sure. That really helped me.
Okay, nice. So, and then how did Thea come into your life?
Thea was a gift from our friends. They run a place called Retrievers Ranch. And they gifted Thea to us when we lost Rio. So Thea basically came to save us after Rio.
Okay. So what's the story behind their names?
Rio is from the movie Rio. I don't know if you've seen the animated movie.
Yeah.
Where the macaw is called Rio, right?
Correct.
And their story is also similar because he's with a single mom and she brings him up and he's also rescued.
Yes.
So that's how Rio became Rio.
Okay.
Thea, because she's a golden retriever and I love Greek mythology.
Okay.
So Thea is the goddess of gold.
Okay.
So that's how Thea became
Very
Thea.
apt to her name.
Very apt to her name. Look at her,
Huh,
sprawled.
yeah, like she's like a princess, she's sleeping now. So, what's inspired you to, again, obviously you were traveling with Rio everywhere, and how did Thea take this? Was she a natural when you started traveling with her, or were there any adjustments you had to make to, get her used to this life?
So after Rio, I knew which whoever furry child is going to be in our life will have to adapt to a traveling lifestyle because we are avid travelers. We enjoy traveling. And I started training Thea from day one. So first it started with a half an hour drive, then an hour drive, then 2 hour drive,
Okay.
then taking her for off-roading.
Okay,
So got her used to, the terrain she was going to be in.
slowly.
Slowly. Very gradual, very slow. But we prepped her to
Okay.
be a traveling dog.
And how did she take that?
Oh, very well. She's definitely natural, but we still trained her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's her personality like?
Thea she's very playful, she's very empathetic, she's very receptive, she learns things very fast, very lazy sometimes, also very playful, she's naughty.
Okay.
Just like a child, just like a 3-year-old kid would be.
And you've traveled you've taken 7 hikes with her.
Not 7.
More than that?
Actually, I've lost count. I'll have to count, not hikes, but I've done expeditions with her.
Okay.
So
name
between the
any few.
expedition, we would hike somewhere.
So name any few which you have taken
We've done
with her.
Zanskar, we did Umlingla. God, she's done 18 mountain passes.
Wow. So and how is she there? As in, or any one of them which she loved the most? You felt she just loves this place.
She loved Varila. It's very beautiful. Zanskar, she loves Zanskar. Yeah,
What did she
enjoys-
do there?
So there are meadows there, and all of
Yes.
us, the whole expedition would stop and we would have tea, coffee, just take a break. And this one meadow I remember, there were yaks in the distance
Huh.
and mountains at the back. And we were playing ball with her, we were playing fetch with her. And she didn't care about the yak, she didn't care about other cars. The only thing she cared about was chasing her dad's bike in that meadow. And I have some really nice pictures from that.
So mostly mountains you have done with her.
Yes.
Any beaches or
Beaches are on the card, but we are mountain people. So we enjoy, and she loves snow. She loves it. And because she's a furry dog, she's meant for a colder terrain. That's why I feel that it's better to take her to a colder terrain than to a humid terrain. She's a golden retriever. The humidity is not really for them. So that's why just being mindful of the climate that works for a golden retriever.
so did Rio also travel to similar places or was it a different?
Rio's done Rajasthan also.
Okay.
So Rio he had a shorter coat than her.
Yeah.
And he was a hardcore urban boy.
Okay.
So this girl is still a farm girl. The only place we don't take her is when we are flying out or going out of the country. But I intend to take her to Kerala also, to my in-laws' house. Though it's not her thing, but we'll keep her in AC. But train mein bitha ke, I want to take her to Kerala.
So since they travel long distance with you, how do you prep them, or are there any tips which the pet parents can learn from? How do you prep your dog for such long distance travel?
There's a lot of prep required as a pet parent, I would say. One is, where exactly are you going? What climate are you going? Does that climate work for your dog? Before that, I would say that know your dog.
Okay.
All dogs don't enjoy travel. So know your dog. That my dog is comfortable in the car, my dog enjoys to be in the car. And if they don't, they don't.
Okay.
And to prepare them, first get them ready for car travel, for road travel. You go slowly. The way I got Thea adapted is half an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Expose them to, if you're doing off-roading, if you're going to an off-roading zone, then get them used to off-roading in an off-roading park. So we used to take Thea, we used to strap her in the right gear, and then we would, do these bad off-roading, bad terrain, broken roads. So she got used to the movement of the car. She got used to being, she would slide from corner to corner
Okay.
to handle it, to balance herself out. Dogs adapt very fast. We underestimate them. And the right gear for dogs is very important.
So what is the kind of gear which one should look at?
The most important thing your car needs to have, even in urban areas, anywhere. If your dog is in the car, that has to be in the car, is a car hammock.
Car hammock.
Yeah, you have to have a
Okay.
hammock for the dog at the
Okay.
back, because there is a distance between the rear seat and the front.
Yes.
There's a gap.
Yeah.
And sudden breaks are unavoidable
Yes.
if you're in the city or wherever you are, you don't know. So you need to cover that gap up so your dog doesn't fall into it, or
yeah.
sort of a limb doesn't go into it, because they can seriously injure themselves.
Okay.
The second thing you need to have is a car seat belt for dogs.
Okay.
It's a cheap little thing.
So there's a separate car seat
There's
for
a separate
dogs.
car seat for dogs.
Okay.
You can Amazon it. It's on Amazon. Just
Okay.
it's economical, and something which I think is essential for your dog. It just fits into the harness. So those two things though are a non-negotiable. You have to have those two things.
And is it since you are a biker as well?
Yes.
Is it the same on the bike or?
So I don't ride. I've never ridden with my dogs, and
Okay.
I don't intend to, because I think parents are doing it. A lot
Yeah.
of rider parents are riding with
Correct.
their dogs.
Yeah.
I am very scared, maybe,
Okay.
because see, you're on two wheels.
Yes.
Falling is unavoidable. Like it can happen in that
Yeah.
terrain. So if I break my leg or if I injure myself, human hospitals are there everywhere, army is present everywhere. But the same thing, if that happens to my dog, how will I plan this out? Where will I take her? So if I am in Leh, I don't know great veterinary hospitals there. There's a government hospital there, but I don't know how well it's equipped.
Okay.
So I'm just scared of it, but more power to people who have the confidence to take their dogs there. I think they must be mindful of what they're doing. So it's not don't do it or do it, but it's up to the person.
Is it very breed specific? How a specific breed or a certain breed is very comfortable with traveling or gets used to traveling easily, but certain breeds may not be. Anything you have come across like that, or you feel it's just up to the dog how they get used to it?
I would think it's up to the dog and the place you're taking a dog. Obviously, larger dogs would adapt faster, I feel, because I've had larger dogs and I've seen them adapt faster.
Okay.
I've hardly seen smaller breeds in the mountains, but I've heard that people do take them.
Smaller breeds are they're easier to manage.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've heard
So
of
maybe-
people taking their smaller dogs. So I think dogs are very receptive. They adapt really fast. So
Okay.
I wouldn't want to restrict a dog from traveling anywhere.
Okay. So you spoke about the necessary or essential equipment which is needed while they are traveling in the car. But outside the car, like since you've traveled to places like Leh, Spiti and all of that, when you take them to those kind of terrains, which is definitely very cold, isn't it? It's a different kind of cold there. So outside, what are the essentials which one should have for the dog?
I would say it depends on how cold, because these are, like in Thia's case, she has a beautiful, very warm coat.
Yes.
But if I'm taking her to snow, I will always have a jacket for her. I will always have a sweater. I will always have a dog thermal layer. I generally see the temperature and then put her into the gear.
Okay.
And that's just clothing we are talking about.
Well, like beds or, other things.
Yeah, you must have a mat, a bed, because even pet-friendly hotels are not equipped with it. So you must carry your dog's, at least your dog's mat. We in fact carry her full bed. We carry her blanket, because let's say if there is, there's snowfall and the roads are blocked from both sides, you're stuck in the middle. You have to spend the night there.
Okay.
So you need
that
to
has
have.
happened?
That happens, yes.
Okay.
You can have landslides all the time.
So, have you been stuck in such a situation
We've
with
been
her?
stuck in landslides many times.
And she's very calm.
She's
and
very calm. We were stuck. I think this is Shinkula Pass, and we were stuck between like a 12 feet wall on both sides, 12 feet wall
Okay.
of snow, and our car was parked right in the middle of it.
Wow.
And we had to stay about 4-5 hours there. Yeah. And you never know. Sometimes you might have to spend the night there. Then what do you
Yes.
do?
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared. See, if you're doing an expedition or an adventure expedition, then you have to be mindful that anything can happen. The mountains are unpredictable. So,
So, how do you plan or structure meals? Her meals when you are traveling with her, and also how do you prepare her on the nutrition side before traveling, or is it like a regular process and not just few days before travel you start giving her a certain kind of meal which prepares her system for that kind of travel?
not really. I try to maintain the same diet
Okay.
throughout.
But
Yeah,
how
when
do
you're
you?
traveling in mountains, then there can be a shift of some things कि
Yeah.
कहीं आपको सब्जियां नहीं मिल रही हैं, सिर्फ चावल और चिकन मिल रहा है या सिर्फ अंडा और चिकन मिल रहा है. But then I carry multivitamins.
Okay.
So all her, whatever nutrition when it comes from, let's say a vitamin pill or a vitamin gel, all those I carry.
Okay. So whatever food is getting, if she's not getting proper food, what she's been used to, then the supplements can take care of that. And how important is, like for humans, hydration is very important when you're traveling to such terrains. So how important is it for dogs? And dogs are known to be,
Yeah.
they forget drinking water. So you have to really push them into drinking water.
Extremely. UTIs in dogs are so common when they're traveling. And Rio had it because Rio was very fussy when it came to drinking water in the mountains. So we had to like sort of disguise it with bone broth.
Okay.
And you can disguise it with yogurt. And dire street agar aur kuch bhi nahi, put like a little bit of milk in the water and they'll drink it.
Okay.
But it's very, very important.
So you have to take additional care that they are hydrated.
Yeah, 100%. Every break, Thea gets hydrated.
Okay.
There
And is she fussy? Does she get fussy about eating
No,
while on
not
the
at all.
road?
Not at all.
Like one of my dogs, Oreo, she doesn't. She's like me. So if I'm traveling on road for like more than 4 hours, 5 hours,
Yeah.
I don't eat. I don't drink water because my reason is different. I don't want to use a public washroom.
Yeah.
But she also stops drinking water, stops eating, and she will not pee or poop anything.
I think she's anxious. Your dog
Maybe.
gets anxious.
Okay.
So you can create a more homey environment in their hammock. So I carry like, the cushion she sleeps with in
Here.
the bed, at home. And a toy that is always in her bed. I will carry that and put it in the hammock. So there is
Okay.
a familiar smell. So she feels that she's still home.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that
I'll try
helps
that
with
next
the
time.
anxiety quite a bit.
Okay, I'll definitely try that. So we spoke about hydration, nutrition, and also essential gear, which is important to prepare before one starts traveling. So let's talk about exercise, physical strength. How do you prepare them or condition them before such a long travel? Any specific kind of exercises or walking or anything which prepares their body for this kind of travel?
So I feel not just for travel, but even in their daily lifestyle, exercise is extremely important. So, you have to make them walk a certain amount, depending on the breed. Your
Yes.
vet will be the right person to recommend the right amount of exercise your dog or a particular breed needs. But retrievers or larger dogs need a minimum amount of 1 hour, 15 minutes to 1 hour, half an hour, about an hour and a half exercise or walking.
Okay.
They need to get that energy out. They're very energetic dogs.
Yeah.
And their limbs need it. So I would say not just for a travel, if you just maintain a good lifestyle anyway, in their daily, usual, normal life minus travel or adventure travel, your dog will be perfectly comfortable. Your dog will actually be stronger for a travel, I would say. Not just for their regular life.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Also, when you're traveling with them through such high altitudes, humans also take time to acclimatize. You know, when slowly you acclimatize, so जैसे कि धीरे धीरे जाना चाहिए, you take stoppages. So how do dogs manage that, or how do you prepare them for that?
देखो, एक जो पूरा बड़ा अडल्ट डॉग है उसमें और एक 3 साल के बच्चे में ज्यादा अंतर नहीं है.
अच्छा.
मेंटली
ओके.
ज्यादा अंतर नहीं है. तो जैसे कि आप अपने बच्चे को भी एक्लेमेटाइज करते हुए ले जाएंगे, exactly that way you have to acclimatize a dog.
Okay.
Now let's say when we are traveling with Thea from here to Leh, we make 3 stops.
Okay.
As in we make 2 stops. The third stop is finally Leh.
Leh. Okay.
So we'll go from here to Manali. Take a break in Manali. From Manali, then we choose a place like Jispa.
Okay.
Which is barely about 2.5 hours
From
Manali. But it is at a higher altitude.
Okay.
It's like about 10,000 feet. So it's like going from Jispa to Baralacha, and Baralacha say ahead you cross passes like Tanglagla and then reach Leh.
Okay.
So there are multiple passes that come in the middle.
Huh.
So if you don't acclimatize for that night in Jispa, not that you can't do it, but why chance it?
Why chance it? Correct. Okay.
And you really don't give a dog Diamox.
Yeah. So and how do you know कि जैसे for us हमें पता चल जाता है कि we are having those problems now, and because we didn't acclimatize or it's not suiting us, the oxygen level is dropping. वो dogs के लिए कैसे identify करते हैं?
So there's a certain breathing pattern. When they start breathing, छोड़ के सांस.
अच्छा.
देखो रेगुलर सांस 4 बीट में जाती है. राइट. इनकी फिर जैसे रुक के आती है ना. करके they start. It's almost like wheezing. It sounds like wheezing.
Okay.
It's slightly different from humans, but as a dog parent you will identify that.
Okay.
So you get to know that they are. इनकी टंग का कलर चेंज होना शुरू हो जाएगा.
Okay. So what is the?
And also you can use an oximeter for a dog.
Okay, there's an oximeter for dogs also.
No,
is it the same one?
Human जो oximeter होता है ना, you fold the ear of your dog. If it's a floppy eared, if it's a standing one, then you just plug it in and see.
Achha.
Because this is all you can find out from here for them.
Okay.
For a floppy eared, you just turn it. You flip the ear and put your oximeter there.
Okay.
आसान नहीं होता है.
हाँ, I'm sure करने नहीं देते होंगे.
और अगर आपको लग ही रहा है कि भाई इसको प्रॉब्लम है, दिक्कत है, तो आप अपने लिए जो भी ऑक्सीजन बैकअप कैरी कर रहे हो, जस्ट कीप इट नियर द स्नाउट. यू डोंट हैव टू प्लग इट इनटू द स्नाउट. जस्ट कीप इट नियर द स्नाउट. द डॉग विल, because they have a different system, right? The snout is larger. It's not like us that. So the breathing will improve.
Okay. So that's how you identify, and then accordingly
you'll identify, but you'll get to know if your dog will become lethargic. The dog will become, the limbs will be limper. And definitely tongue color, eyes.
Okay.
Breathing pattern, if you're a parent, if you're a parent, you'll 100% identify.
Okay, that was very important.
It's very important. What you can do, and which I did, was I did a crash course with my vet.
Okay.
In how to be an emergency first responder for them.
Okay.
Not that it's a certified thing, but like
as in basic things.
Basic emergency. What can I do for my dog? You can also give them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. So as in I think irrespective you're traveling with your dog or not traveling with your dog, this is something everybody, as a pet parent,
you would do it for your baby, right?
Yes.
So for a human baby, so there's no difference here.
So what are the kind of things which is usually you get you learn like a first aid, immediate first aid?
Immediate first aid तो हम सबको ही आना चाहिए ना, like how to wrap a wound, clean a wound. If a bone breaks, what do you do? How to hold it in place.
For dogs, and then I'm sure there will be some different, थोड़ा बहुत अलग steps होते होंगे.
Same, broken bone, the same rule.
Same. Okay.
Yeah. And first aid again, their medicines are different.
Yes.
So carry different sprays for them. Their wounds have to be treated. You can't treat them with all human meds.
Yes.
So carry their
meds separately. So there has to be a first aid box which is separate
100%.
for your dog. Yes.
There is
That's
always we have when I'm traveling with her, I'm driving with her, there are two kids in the car. One is mine, one is hers. Because my husband's on the bike.
Yeah.
Or he's with people who are way ahead of us. All the
Yes.
motorcyclists. I'm driving a truck.
Yeah.
And he's on a motorcycle. There's a
Of
kilometers and
course,
kilometers
huh.
of difference between us.
Yes. That was a very important one. Okay, so what are the important health checks or and vaccinations which a dog needs to go through before any kind of travel?
Health checks, see, vaccinations are regular, whatever
vaccinations.
the yearly you do for your dog. A health checkup, if you haven't done the blood test that year,
Okay.
and your dog's been healthy, then it's, just get a blood test done. If
Okay.
your dog has an ailment, check the ailment, get whatever tests the vet suggests, get them done. I generally do an entire health checkup before I take her up onto the mountains.
Okay. So if anything comes up in that, then
Yeah.
accordingly you take care
Exactly.
and take advice of your vet,
Yeah.
whether
I have to get her checked before
Yes.
every trip. If he doesn't give me a red signal, I'm not taking her up. That trip probably will get canned.
Okay. So there's nothing specific as such, but a regular checkup like you would do for yourself if you're
Yeah.
going on such a journey.
Exactly.
And same thing you do for your dog as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Any advice on how to be ready or prepare for emergencies?
First aid kit, 100%.
Your vet on call.
Vet on call is all the time.
Yeah.
Our vet is on call. He's bothered at 11:30 at night, poor man.
Yeah.
But have a good rapport with your vet. And generally, vets are very happy and very empathetic when it comes to dogs traveling to that terrain. They're very, very happy that you're expanding the dog's horizon.
Yeah.
So they will respond for sure. Emergency equipment for dogs, have emergency food. Always have dry food in the car. Because कहीं और खाना मिले ना मिले वहाँ पे इंसानों को खाना नहीं मिलता, जानवरों को तो क्या ही मिलेगा.
Correct.
So always, especially in snow, if you're going to peak snow condition, 101% have your kibbles ready. If there is no water, you must have a stove in your car.
Okay.
Because you will have to melt snow to make water.
Oh. Okay.
Even for yourself.
Even for
if your water runs out, you're stuck there, let's say, बर्फ गिर गई, आप फंस गए हो, पानी खत्म हो गया, पानी तो चाहिए.
Correct.
So have your stove ready, melt the snow, feed yourself, feed your dog.
So how to prepare or manage paw and paw skin and fur in conditions like this, like snow or say a Rajasthan kind of very different weathers and different temperatures. So how to take care of that?
Snow will be better. Deserts से ज़्यादा snow is better for retrievers. For paws also.
Okay.
Because इनकी skin बहुत sensitive होती है.
हाँ.
रेती ज़्यादा घुसती है, पतली होती है रेती.
Right.
Whereas snow is water. It doesn't do much to them.
Okay.
And I generally I carry her paw balms or basic coconut oil.
Acha.
It freezes. You can take it anywhere.
Yeah.
And give your dog like a. वैसे भी I do believe that after a long journey, let's say your dog has traveled with you in the car for 14 hours. It's tired. Their limbs hurt.
Yes.
So I give her a nice grooming session wherever we stop. And I take coconut oil and give her a nice rub. And like sort of press her joints just to have little lymphatic drainage for her. So next day she's all right.
Yeah. So small things, but
really small
just
things which you would do for a baby, right? You would do for yourself. The same things.
Okay. So traveling with dog definitely deepens your bond with your dog.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
What are the kind of behaviors to nurture and to build trust during such trips?
See, one very nice thing you said is traveling with dogs deepens your bond.
Yes.
There's a huge reason for it.
Yeah.
Because your dog is completely dependent on you.
Huh.
Here he or she is in a familiar environment.
Yes.
There they are in an alien environment. So they will rely on you for the smallest thing. And if they get positive feedback, the trust just multiplies. The consistency of trust. And it builds a reliability. They rely on you more. And they will also protect you in the same way because you're their person who's, taking
Yeah.
care of them. They're smart. What to give them positive sort of feedback for everything, Shabashi dijiye. Oh, you traveled for 2 hours, such a good girl, such a good girl. Oh, you jumped so well from the car.
Yeah.
Very good girl. You would think that it's, they're not getting it,
No,
but
they get it.
everything.
They get everything.
They understand it. So positive feedback is something I would say constantly provide them with that. Praise them, they get it. Another most research when it comes to dogs says when you baby talk a dog, it gives them a lot of sort of a jump in the oxytocin in them.
Okay.
It's the same bond which you would have with your child when you're baby talking your child. So they have that, it's happy hormones building in them.
Okay. So that one should do any point on.
Anyway.
Always.
Yeah, but especially on trips, if you are there for them, you're not ignoring them, you're talking to them, you have their schedule bang on.
Yes.
You can't make a dog wait to pee. Now, if they, let's say, if I take Thea out at 6:30 in the morning, even wherever I am, I can't delay her.
Yeah. So maintain the same schedule.
Try to maintain the same schedule so they know that, and that'll also bring down their anxiety.
Yeah.
So they know they're taken care of. They can trust you with their time. They can
Yes.
trust you with their food.
Yes.
So saying that, अच्छा हम भी तो wait कर रहे हैं खाने के लिए. आगे ढाबा है, हम भी तो wait कर रहे हैं खाने का. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Stop your car. Get your dog out. First check if there are any wild dogs around or
Yeah.
not. Mountain dogs are not forgiving.
Yeah.
As lovely as they are very aggressive, and especially towards urban dogs.
Yes.
So be mindful.
So how does Tia handle that?
Oh, I don't let her handle that.
Okay, you handle it.
Yeah, I handle it.
So as pet parents, we have to handle that.
Yeah, you must handle it.
Because mountain dogs are very territorial.
They are very territorial. They move in packs. And your urban dog stands zero chance in front of them. They are very strong animals.
Okay.
So you have to protect them. You have to take care of them. Like she thinks every dog is friendly. Now, if I try introducing her to a mountain dog, it's not going to happen. She'll be wounded.
Yeah.
So when you're getting your dog out, specific time. Let's say if your dog has to go early morning, आप चले हैं walk वगैरह करा के 11:30 बजे आपके dog का pee time है या जो भी है, whatever break you give your dog. Exactly at that time, please park your car on the side. Be mindful of where you are. Traffic, natural conditions, other animals. Get your dog out. Make your dog walk. Even if it's like a 5-minute walk, give your dog that.
Okay.
Allow them to pee. Allow them to sniff around. It'll cause 10 minutes delay in your journey.
Yeah.
उससे ज़्यादा तो क्या ही होगा?
So you plan accordingly.
You plan.
Then this has to be part of the schedule.
If your dog gets a snack in the day at 12:30, please give that snack then. It is in your car. Make a specific spot for your dog's things. Please maintain the schedule. That builds trust.
Okay. So, any common mistakes which pet parents should avoid while traveling with their dogs?
Oh, lots of mistakes. They must not just throw the dog in the car and say कि चलो चलते हैं. Prepare your dog. You must not feed them street food because their tummies get upset and then your journey is over.
Yeah.
Wherever you're going, whichever hotel, even if it's a pet-friendly hotel, be mindful of the other people who are around.
Yeah.
Even if it's a pet-friendly hotel, if there's somebody coming who seems scared of your dog, please ask them, are you comfortable? Should I hold my dog? Just don't say कि ये pet-friendly hotel है तो कहीं भी जा सकता है. Always take permission, seek permission. That is respectful. You're showing respect to the host. You're showing respect to this hotel, which has converted itself into being pet-friendly.
Pet-friendly, yeah.
And if you maintain that behavior, there'll be more such facilities that will be there. So take care of your dogs. That way, hold it for the other person. Be respectful to others' space. That I would say. वैसे गिनती में तो बहुत सारी आ जाएंगी गलतियां छोटी बड़ी, बट मुझे लगता है ये एक चीज़ है जो पेट पेरेंट्स को जहन में रखनी चाहिए कि even if I am in a pet friendly space, let's just not like sort of own it and barge into every corner.
Yeah. Okay, for first timers, how can they start small and gradually take that journey or prepare for that journey?
The easiest thing you can do is, like I said, train them every day with the car. Go and have go and stay a night over, like, let's say, to your parents' house with your dog, a friend's house with your dog. So the dog starts getting accustomed to staying in different areas. When you're doing that, always carry something familiar of the dog. Toy है, बोल तो खैर आप carry करेंगे ही, but toy है, उसका bed है, mat है, जो smell. See, for them, everything works with the smell.
Yes.
That is their sort of, leading thing.
Yeah.
So, taking familiar smelling things is very important.
So one has to find pet-friendly stays for when you're traveling, and there are not many options, definitely, across the country. So and I think that's a lot to do with pet parents also. That how do we treat the property? How do we treat the place? So what are some things again which pet parents should be very mindful of when you are irrespective in a pet friendly property, or say a dhaba which is an open dhaba, वो तो pet friendly by default हो जाता है. So at both kinds of places, what are the kind of things we should be mindful of?
See, you must be mindful of picking up after your dog. You've kept a dog, you decide you're a pet owner, you're a pet parent. If you're a pet parent, please understand that you've got this bacha on this trip, and you would not want to dirty somebody else's space. It's the same यार, जैसे अपने घर पे हो, अब कोई और आपके घर पे आएगा, they create dirt in your house, they create mess in your house. You'd want them to clean it up.
Yes.
Please treat yourself the same way. When you're in a dhaba, whether it's a dhaba or whether it's a 5-star hotel that's pet friendly, you must clean up after your dog. If your dog destroys something, now this is a baby, right? Like how kids can tear things, mess up things.
You don't have much control.
Yeah, you don't. They can also mess up. They can also break things. Please apologize. Please pay for it. Like a friend's hotel in Manali, it's a beautiful stay. They had these pet owners staying where they left the dogs in the room and they went for shopping or something. By the time they came back, the dogs had dirtied the whole room. They had chewed up the corners of the beds. They had scratched the doors. They had torn the rugs and the sheets. And the pet parents completely refused to pay for anything, saying that you're a pet-friendly hotel. You should be, used to this. That's not how you behave. I might be a very pet-friendly place, but I expect your dogs to behave. It's exactly the same way that you can bring your child to my hotel, but if your child is breaking lamp,
something, you have to
bear the brunt of that price. You pay for it, and that sort of shows a lot of character to me also. So I would say that be very, very careful of such things.
Yeah, that's very important.
Very important. So carry your poo bags everywhere.
Yeah,
your pet
irrespective.
Parent, just put it. It's hardly itni si to cheez hai.
Yeah. After traveling, what are the things one should take care of post-travel?
So see, when you're doing a longer drive with your dog, but anything over 5-6 hours, I would say. हमारे को कई बार 14 hours हो जाते हैं. We take ample breaks, but the dogs are still tired. So right after you come back, a good grooming session, a good checkup with your dog. Their body is really, it's gone through a lot. It's like for us also, we feel as if we ran a marathon when we come back from 14 hours of mountain driving. So get them a good session of like a massage or massage them yourselves. Or get them a session with a physiotherapist, a dog physiotherapist. Bone therapy is something which I would recommend. It is like a physiotherapy for them. It really helps them out. It takes out it's a good lymphatic drainage for them.
Okay.
So it will be good for your dog's joints. I would say those days, at least for a week, concentrate more on giving them, chicken soup, broth, give them good protein to help them recover. Some carbs.
Okay.
Because these are essential things. But joint recovery is immense. Their joints go through quite a bit when they're on the road.
What if, so when it comes to grooming,
Yeah.
There may be places where you don't find a groomer or a place where you can take them. So,
Yeah.
what are the things one could do themselves for to groom the dog when they are coming from outside?
See, grooming is what? Basic hygiene,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Agar, let's say you are not in an area where you have groomers,
Hmm.
you can always give a dog bath yourself, dry them up yourself. Now you have quick drying towels
Yes.
also, which you wrap your dog into and it absorbs most of the moisture.
Yeah, yeah.
Groom them yourselves
Okay.
nicely if you
So
don't have
that
a
again
groomer.
becomes an essential kit to carry.
No, so during an expedition, this is I was talking about post.
Post.
But during, let's say, a travel, not
Huh.
even an expedition, yeah, I would say a
No,
regular
regular
travel
travel.
also, where you're staying in a hotel or you're staying wherever, किसी के घर पे भी रह रहे हो, तो आप जैसे ही बाहर से अंदर आए, groom your dog yourself. Carry puppy wipes, dog wipes, wipe your dog down. Don't have mud or muck or green, anything on them. And brush them nicely. It's good for their circulation.
Yeah.
It's also, you don't want your dog's fur all
All
over
over the
somebody
place.
else's furniture.
Yes,
Your
yes.
house can be, covered in it, and this is your baby.
Yeah.
But somebody else may or may not be
May not like
comfortable,
it. Yes. Yes.
So again, it comes down to being mindful and respectful of somebody else's space. You're showing somebody else, that I care.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. I care. I want to take care of, this privilege you've given me. So I would say the minute your dog has walked, come inside, wipe your dog down, brush your dog. That's pretty much it. I carry dry shampoos for her if it's a longer, let's say, a mountain
Yes.
expedition, because I'm not giving her a bath in that cold
Yes.
climate.
Yeah.
So I carry dry shampoos for her.
Okay.
So you use the dry shampoo. They are foamish shampoos also. You put that, wipe her down, as good as giving them a bath.
Okay.
At least for those 10-15 days.
Days.
Yeah.
Okay. How about so Rio was a senior dog.
Yes.
So how you are there any specific things you ensured you do with him which helps him physically also and to relax him more?
So I used to give him CBD oil for dogs.
Okay.
Because Rio was diagnosed with cancer in the last 2 years he was traveling.
Okay.
And we didn't want to end his travel because he loved it. So with due permission from his vet and his doctors, we made him travel. He was the happiest when he was traveling. He was a seasoned traveler.
Yeah.
So we would give him CBD oil every night before he slept, and that really helped with any aches and pains, good sleep for him.
And how about swimming? How does that help?
Swimming is very good for their joints, as it's for us, but very, very good for dogs, their joints, the movement, and for older dogs.
Yeah, specifically
Because
older dogs.
Specifically older dogs, when it comes to arthritis, when it comes to hip dysplasia,
Okay.
it really eases the pain. See, that's where they can just be. They're not putting any weight on the joints, and
Yeah.
they're still having fun.
Yeah.
And it really helps build strength.
Great.
So that's why they have hydrotherapy for
Dogs, yeah.
dogs who are suffering from arthritis, osteoporosis, or hip dysplasia, or any hip related or joint related issue.
Great. So now I have a very fun rapid fire.
Wonderful.
You
Scary.
don't have much time. You don't have much time to think.
not very good at
Ekdam
this.
promptly you have to answer.
Okay, chalo, let's try.
It's fun. It's very light.
I'm not getting a hamper. This is not coffee
Yeah,
with
you're
pen.
not getting hamper. So if your dog could talk,
Yeah.
what's the first thing they would say about your adventure together?
Let's go now.
Oh, nice. A bizarre thing Thea or Rio has done on a trek or a trip.
God, she has run after her dad's bike like crazy. She's chased. Actually, both of them have done this.
Huh.
Rio, we were in Kashmir and we were in this beautiful place. It's called Dosa Maidan. And my husband was riding and he ran behind his bike. Old fellow he was then, Rio. Thea did the same thing in Zanskar.
Oh.
Yeah, that's bizarre, absolutely bizarre.
What is a go-to snack for both you and your dog when you are on a trip?
Boiled eggs.
Okay. If your dog had to choose the next adventure, what
Yeah.
would it be?
Back to Zanskar.
Huh.
Back to Zanskar or Leh Ladakh.
Nice. If Thea had a travel Instagram account, what would the bio be like?
Oh my God, she has one actually. Power wheel drives. her bio would be a princess traveling, soon to be a queen.
Nice. If Thea could earn a special mountain pass badge, what would it be like?
Special mountain pass badge. My God.
What would it say?
I'm going to steal one from Instagram. No, steal one from Netflix. There's already a mountain queen, so we can call Princess Thea, I don't know, ruling queen, something like that. She considers herself an empress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is the same thing one of the pet communicators told us about Oreo.
Yeah.
That Oreo thinks she's the queen of the house.
Yeah.
Everybody is at her service.
Yeah.
So everybody has to behave the way she wants. Hence, she's so picky, she's so moody. And Oreo exactly behaves like that.
Yeah. So this one has no sense of personal space, clearly.
Yeah.
And especially with her mother. Mother is basically her pillow. So yeah, there is no, wherever Thea wants to be, she will be.
Thanks, Niharika. That was a lot of very good information for pet parents, and I'm sure parents who want to travel with their dogs and have not been able to take that decision, with a lot of these tips will now start thinking that yes, even I can do it.
I hope so. I hope every dog gets to travel with their parent.
And I have also heard that you're putting all your adventures with Rio in a book together.
Yes.
So
I started writing a book for Rio, and I think I started my writing journey post he passed away because I missed him so much. So that's how writing started for me.
Okay. We'll all wait for it, and all the best for that.